Hello, Immortal News family, and welcome back to our channel. In the last 24 hours, we have received the somber news of the passing of extraordinary talents, and today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Before we start, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you. Number 7. The great teacher is the one who sees the artist already inside of you. That's how Martin Landau described André Landzaat, a man whose belief in others lit up countless lives on stage, screen, and deep within the acting studio. André Landzaat, who passed away peacefully at the age of 81, left behind a legacy that spans continents, generations, and hearts. Born in The Hague and shaped by a family of artists and seafarers, André carried both creativity and courage into every role he played and every student he mentored. He first found acclaim as Tony Cassadine on General Hospital, sharing scenes with legends like Elizabeth Taylor. The role earned him a soap opera award and brought him wide recognition in the U.S. He also appeared in beloved shows like The $6 Million Man, Laverne and Shirley, and All That Glitters. In Europe, he became a familiar face on Dutch television, starring in Medisch Centrum West and Westenwind. His range was vast, and his passion for honest, expressive work never faded. But it wasn't just what André achieved, it was how he gave back. A lifelong member of both the Actors Studio and Theatre West, he taught at the Lee Strasberg Theatre and Film Institute for over 2 decades. Students and peers praised his ability to awaken the adventurous spirit inside an actor. He taught in 4 languages, led masterclasses across Europe, and continued coaching right up to his final years in Amsterdam. Traveling the U.S. in the 1980s, he also found time for charity work, raising awareness for missing children and using his voice for good. His partner, Ed Leseman, countless students and colleagues now carry forward the light he gave. As David Lee Strasberg said, André's performances and classes were filled with insight, intensity, humor, and humanity. André Landzaat's passing is a deep loss to the world of performance and those who had the honor to learn from him. His life reminds us that art, when shared with love, leaves lasting echoes. Tributes to André Landzaat. Number 6. She lived 11 of her 14 years with a relentless cancer, yet lived more fully and gratefully than most. These words, shared by Zuza Beine's parents, capture the light that Zuza brought to the world, even through the darkest of times. At just 14, Zuza left a mark that many never reach in a lifetime. As a key member of the Glowhouse Creator Collective, she wasn't just a social media influencer. She was a voice for hope, honesty, and resilience. She shared her journey with acute myeloid leukemia, a battle that began when she was only 3, with remarkable candor. Through 3 bone marrow transplants and 5 cancer remissions, Zuza never stopped believing in brighter days. Her videos reached thousands, offering not just updates but strength, celebrating the joy of pizza, her love for her pets, or simply laughing with friends. She taught so many to appreciate small moments and to find joy even amid pain. Fans admired her not just for surviving but for the way she lived. Her openness comforted families navigating illness, and her smile gave countless others the strength to face another day. As part of Glowhouse, she showed what it means to be real online, to connect, uplift, and inspire. Behind her vibrant content was a girl who longed for ordinary days, but she turned her extraordinary struggle into something beautiful. Zuza's courage reshaped how we think about vulnerability. She reminded us to be grateful for birthdays, for strawberries, for love. Her passing, at age 14, came after a long and brave fight. Surrounded by love, she left too soon, but not without giving the world a part of herself that will never fade. Fellow creators and fans continue to pour out their love online, honoring the joy Zuza spread. In a space that often values filters and perfection, she was refreshingly real. Today, Zuza is remembered not just for her illness, but for how brightly she shined despite it. She is survived by her parents, who continue to ask for support for her extended family during this time. Zuza Beine showed us that even in deep struggle there can be laughter, purpose, and love. Tributes to Zuza Beine. Number 5. Everyone liked him and saw him as a dear friend. Those words from Bengals president Mike Brown capture the spirit of Rudi Johnson, an athlete whose strength on the field was matched by the warmth he brought to others. Rudy passed away at the age of 45 after a brief illness. Though his time was far too short, the legacy he leaves behind is powerful and lasting. Nicknamed the Auburn Rambler, Rudy ran with purpose, as if every play mattered. And to him, it did. After a stellar college career at Auburn, where he earned SEC Player of the Year, he brought that same fierce energy to the Cincinnati Bengals. There, he notched 3 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons, rushed for nearly 6,000 yards, and was selected for the Pro Bowl in 2004. But Rudy's real impact couldn't be measured only in yards or touchdowns. He gave people hope. Foundation work became his second calling. Through the Rudi Johnson Foundation, created in 2005, he helped families and children overcome hard times. He didn't do it for attention. He did it because he cared. To his teammates, Rudy was the guy you could count on. Quiet strength, unwavering work ethic, and heart. Whether it was the locker room or the community center, he inspired those around him. Fans remember his signature power runs. Friends remember his easy smile and generous spirit. And the people he helped? They'll never forget the man who showed up when it mattered. Tributes have come from across the NFL and beyond, each one echoing a deep respect for a man who ran with heart, on every field he touched. Rudi Johnson made football history. More importantly, he made lives better. Though funeral details have not yet been shared, his family asks for privacy during this difficult time. He leaves behind a community that loved him, and that he never stopped giving to. Tributes to Rudi Johnson. Number 4. He expects the best of you every time out. Those words were often said about Buddy Bailey, by players he coached, teammates he worked alongside, and opponents who respected him. He lived by that standard himself, pushing for excellence in every corner of the game he loved. Buddy passed away at 68, following a brief illness. His loss echoes from dugouts in the U.S. to stadiums across Latin America. For over 40 years, Buddy Bailey led with quiet intensity, guiding teams across the minor leagues and the Venezuelan Professional Baseball League. He was a fixture in the Boston Red Sox and Chicago Cubs organizations, but he became a true legend far from home, with the Tigres de Aragua in Venezuela. In 16 seasons with the Tigres, he delivered 6 league titles and lifted the Caribbean Series trophy in 2009. But his biggest victories were off the field, mentoring young talent, building trust, and bringing out the best in each player. One of those young players? A future superstar named Miguel Cabrera. Buddy was one of only a handful of managers to reach 2,000 wins in the minors. Across his career, he recorded nearly 3,000 victories. A symbol of consistency, a master of patience. a coach who spoke the universal language of baseball and always made time to teach. To Venezuelans, Buddy wasn't a visitor. He was family. Fans and players often called him one of us. He embraced the culture wholeheartedly, earning the LVBP Manager of the Year award and the enduring respect of an entire baseball-loving nation. His influence runs deeper than stats or banners. Players credited him for changing careers, even changing lives. He stayed calm in chaos, comforted his team through loss, celebrated their triumphs like a proud mentor. Legend, that's the one word for Buddy Bailey, said a fellow coach this week. It's a word echoed in 2 languages, spoken with tears and love. He leaves behind not just championship memories, but generations of players better because of him. As we reflect, we hold close the lessons he taught. Work hard, stay grounded, care for your team. Tributes to Buddy Bailey. Number 3. There are only 2 truly great and funny writers, Stan Lee once said. Ron Friedman is one of them. You know who the other is. Ron Friedman's talent didn't just entertain, it connected generations. Whether you grew up watching G.I. Joe or sat wide-eyed during the Transformers, the movie, chances are Ron helped shape your imagination. He passed away at 93 from complications related to a lower gastrointestinal infection. With his passing, the world loses a creative force whose work sparked decades of wonder. Friedman began his journey in Pittsburgh and studied architecture before switching paths, thankfully, for the world of storytelling. Over 6 decades, he wrote more than 700 hours of television. From comedy classics like Bewitched, The Odd Couple, and Happy Days to heart-pounding thrillers like Starsky and Hutch, his range was as wide as his humor was sharp. In animation, few left a mark like Ron did. He developed G.I. Joe, a real American hero, and co-wrote the Transformers, the movie. His decision to write the death of Optimus Prime, against his wishes, became one of the most deeply felt moments in animated film history. Ron was a frequent collaborator with legends, notably Stan Lee. Together they brought Iron Man and Fantastic Four to life during Marvel's animated surge. But beyond credits and accolades, Ron was known as a generous mentor, a witty presence in any room, and a champion of stories that matter. Fans admired him not just for the worlds he built, but for the humanity he brought to their characters. His autobiography, I Killed Optimus Prime, shared those behind-the-scenes struggles with heart and honesty. Ron's impact will live on, not only on screens, but in the hearts of those who were inspired by his stories. He is survived by his wife, Valerie Friedman, and celebrated by a community that grew up with his heroes. He brought laughter, action, and soul to television and film. He made it personal. He made it unforgettable. Tributes to Ron Friedman. Number 2, it's our job to speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves. That belief guided Jerome Cohen throughout his extraordinary life and shaped a legacy few can match. A devoted advocate for justice, he passed away peacefully at the age of 95, leaving behind a world forever changed by his dedication to law, human rights, and cross-cultural understanding. His journey began in Linden, New Jersey, and led him through the halls of Yale, the Supreme Court, and into history as the first American lawyer to practice in China. But it wasn't titles that defined him, it was impact. Jerome Cohen didn't just study law, he opened doors with it. At Harvard, he founded East Asian Legal Studies, bringing Chinese and Japanese law into mainstream legal education for the first time in the U.S. Later at NYU, he shaped generations through the U.S. Asia Law Institute. His work built a bridge between China and the West during a pivotal moment in history. More than a scholar, he was a bold advocate. He fought tirelessly for the rights of political prisoners like Song Yongyi and Chen Guangcheng, often behind the scenes, but always with unwavering determination. He was a courageous voice for the voiceless, a former student wrote, and a builder of bridges across cultures and legal traditions. Jerome Cohen's influence stretched far beyond the classroom. As an advisor, author, legal negotiator, and mentor, he left a profound mark on international law and diplomacy. His books, commentary, and presence in global forums sparked thought and shaped policy for decades. He earned honors from Japan, the U.S., and countless institutions, but those closest to him remember something greater: his integrity, warmth, and willingness to listen. Jerome is survived by his wife, Joan Lebold Cohen, their children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, who carry forward his legacy of intellect, compassion, and service. His passing, after a life so fully lived, is a great loss, but his example endures. Tributes to Jerome A. Cohen. What's trending on the internet? News 1. In Santa Clara, California, friends and family are coming together to remember 16-year-old Isaiah Mendoza, whose bright spirit touched so many lives. Isaiah, a junior at Wilcox High School, was known for his love of football, soccer, and baseball. His proudest recent moment was earning his driver's license, a milestone he reached just a month and a half ago. The community is heartbroken after a recent accident took Isaiah from them far too soon, just down the road from his family's home. Those who knew Isaiah say he had a remarkable gift. He made everyone feel like his best friend, lighting up every room with his kindness and warmth. Today, teammates, classmates, and neighbors are honoring his memory, sharing stories of joy, laughter, and the genuine care Isaiah spread. Though gone too soon, Isaiah will always be celebrated for the connections he built and the love he shared. His legacy is a reminder of how meaningful one life can be, and how every day is a gift. News 2. Sometimes stories remind us just how precious every moment is. In Colorado's stunning San Juan Mountains, two young hunters, Andrew Porter and Ian Stasko, both 25, set out together in hopes of adventure and connection with nature. Tragically, as a sudden storm swept in, both men lost their lives instantly to a lightning strike while making their way back to their car. Authorities confirmed their passing was immediate and without pain. Loved ones like Andrew's fiancée Bridget are grateful the friends are now at peace, remembering both as experienced outdoorsmen with a deep love for the wild. Their journey, though cut short, is a powerful reminder to cherish the simple joys, and their spirit will live on in the hearts of their families, friends, and the outdoor community who will keep their memories alive through every shared sunrise and mountain trail. News 3. Imagine the warmth of a devoted father's embrace. Today we honor the unforgettable legacy of 54-year-old John Rumney from Dunton, England, whose life was marked by deep love and dedication to his family. In the early hours, a tragic house fire took John's life, but his selfless character shone through even in his final moments, as loved ones believe he acted heroically to protect others. John's family describes him as the heart of their home, always willing to lend a caring hand or share a reassuring smile. Though his loss is heartbreaking, his kindness and courage will continue to inspire all who knew him. As the community gathers to pay tribute, John's unwavering devotion reminds us to cherish one another and to celebrate those everyday heroes whose love endures long after they're gone. News 4. Here's a story that's sure to delight longtime fans and warm a few hearts. James Van Der Beek, the beloved 48-year-old star of Dawson's Creek, made a touching surprise video appearance during a special stage reunion of the show in New York. Though he couldn't attend in person, having come down with 2 stomach viruses while bravely facing stage 3 colorectal cancer, James sent a heartfelt message that honored both his castmates and devoted audience, sharing how deeply he cherished their support. The reunion event was more than just nostalgic. It was a celebration to raise funds for cancer, and James's family, including his wife Kimberly and their children, even joined the cast on stage to sing the iconic theme song, creating a beautiful moment of togetherness. James spoke openly about how this journey with cancer had helped him discover the importance of self-acceptance, a perspective he now wholeheartedly encourages. His resilience is matched only by his gratitude, and in his absence, fellow artist Lin-Manuel Miranda stepped in brilliantly to read the role of Dawson Leary, with James offering an enthusiastic video introduction. Moments like these remind us that even when facing life's biggest challenges, connection, kindness, and community truly shine. The Dawson's Creek family and James Van Der Beek's inspiring courage will be remembered for bringing hope and joy to so many. News 5. Hello friends. Today we want to take a moment to reflect on the life of Cody Scott Dial, a 30-year-old man from Nevada who was recently found after being reported missing in Joshua Tree National Park. Cody's journey ended quietly, near where his car was discovered by search and rescue teams, bringing closure to his loved ones after a heartfelt search. In times like these, we're reminded of the importance of community, how friends, family, and dedicated park rangers come together to support one another, even during the most difficult moments. Cody's adventurous spirit and his love for the great outdoors will be warmly remembered by those who knew him. Our thoughts go out to his family, and we hope they find comfort in the many fond memories they shared with him. Let's honor Cody by appreciating the simple joys around us, whether it's a walk in a local park, a call to a loved one, or just taking a moment to breathe in the fresh air. His story reminds us to cherish each day and to look out for one another. News 6. Here's a story that's been touching hearts around the world. 16-year-old beauty queen Maki Igarashi, who just days ago was crowned Miss Japan's Junior High Division, has sadly passed away in Sapporo, Japan. Maki was discovered at her family home, and while police are sensitively handling the case, the details remain private to honor her loved one's wishes. Maki was more than just a pageant winner. She inspired classmates and community members with her bright spirit, kindness, and dreams of encouraging others. Her recent win brought her into the spotlight, celebrating not just her beauty, but her gentle presence and hopeful vision. Though her time was brief, Maki Igarashi's memory continues to touch those who knew her, reminding us to celebrate life, cherish our loved ones, and recognize the quiet strength in simple kindness. Her legacy will live on through those inspired by her journey and the compassion she showed each day. Number 1. Su partida temprana nos recuerda que el arte, como la vida, es fugaz, pero también eterno cuando deja huella. Ariadnali de la Pena lived and breathed those words, spoken by Mexico's Secretaría de Cultura, through her every performance, every character, and every moment she spent on stage and screen. She passed away at the age of 38, after a courageous and public battle with colon cancer. Her strength and spirit remained unshaken through even the most difficult days. Born in Mexicali, Baja California, Ariadnali left behind more than just performances. She left behind echoes of bravery, creativity, and sincerity that continue to ripple through the Latin American arts community. Audiences first connected with her on international screens in Fear the Walking Dead, and later fell in love with her deeply human portrayal of Refugio Dominguez in the award-winning film Bardo, False Chronicle of a Handful of Truths. More recently, she brought warmth and wit to the screen in La Gran Seducción and the independent films Guardado, Hermano, and Valle de los Conejos. What set Ariadnali apart wasn't mere talent, but a genuine love for her craft, a wild fire behind the eyes, and a quiet generosity that lifted those around her. Theater was her heartbeat. Television and film, the air she breathed. In 2021, she shared her cancer diagnosis with dignity and openness, inviting others into her journey with honesty and hope. Her story encouraged many to face their own struggles with courage. Even while enduring treatment, Ariadnali never stepped away from her art. She acted, wrote, collaborated, and inspired up to her final days. Colleagues, friends, and fans across Latin America and beyond are mourning her loss. But they're also celebrating the bold, shining light she was. She is survived by loved ones who are asking for privacy and whose deep grief is shared by many. Ariadnali de la Peña's legacy is not only in what she performed, but in what she gave so freely to others. Joy, wisdom, resilience, and the unapologetic pursuit of truth through art. Her voice, her presence, her laughter, they live on in every performance, every memory. Tributes to Ariadnali de la Peña. Music is not just sound, it's spirit, Ron once said, a belief he carried into every track, every performance, every beat.